Hey guys, welcome back to Wise Kracks. Bill Krackomberger here in Florida. Jon Orlando somewhere in Vegas. And I don't know. It looks like wow. All right. Hopefully not a jail cell.
Dark
It's very
room.
dark, very dark there. Randy McKay with his Masters hat on. We're going to be replacing that with a new one in a couple of weeks. And Randy, you're in Colorado.
Yeah, still in Colorado for the rest of the March Madness, probably, it sounds like.
Okay. John, where are you?
Place called The Bar. It's
Oh,
over by my gym. There's a few of
okay.
them in town. I'm over
Yeah.
by 215 in Flamingo. And
Nice.
they were nice enough to let me post up shop today because I had a meeting here
Hey,
earlier. And I was like, guys, I got to do
we
the
can
podcast from here.
we can give them a little plug. So
Yeah.
I'm down in Florida. I had some tickets to cash at Hard Rock, which I was happy I was able to cash. I didn't realize this. So if you bet Hard Rock in Tampa, you could cash at Hard Rock where I'm at right now in Hollywood. I'm actually in the Guitar Tower, but yet last year I had a much better room in the next tower over. But room doesn't make a difference really. You're there for sleeping, and that's basically about it. But
Looks
it's a
nice.
nice room. It's nice. The bed, the pillow, very comfortable. Great place, but I'll tell you, this Florida, man, I was over on the West Coast, and there's some of the clearest headed people over there, like down by Naples and stuff. There's some big money over there. I don't know if you've ever been to that part of the state. As a matter of fact, John, unbelievably, somebody named Dolores, who I think is your cousin, is Tony's niece. Do you know her, Dolores?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, she's in Florida here,
Wow.
right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to say no more, but anyway, yeah, she's down here, and she says hello to you and Tony.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, down at my brother's, he's such a good kid. Um, being with him a couple days, I was hanging out with him, and it just put me in. He put me in check. That's right. Like we go out to eat. He knows I'm coming down. I said, Steve, wherever you want to go out to eat, let's go out to eat. I'll take you and your wife any night you want to go, wherever you want to go. He's so sweet. He the first night I get there, we go to Outback Steakhouse. It's like
All right.
there's a Capitol Grill across the street there, but Outback is okay, and the prices are so different, but you get what you pay
Yeah.
for. So I got a $30 ribeye that I don't really know if I would ever go back, but the waitress was so nice. I mean, I'll just tell you, I gave the waitress like 100% tip. She was such a Southern Belle sweetheart, nice girl, talking to just great conversations. And her busser was from Las Vegas, so I took care of them, and they were really nice. And it was a good time just to be my brother. The next night, we were supposed to go out to this like authentic Mexican place that I like, a couple towns down. I've been there before; it's packed. Instead, he decided to stay home, and he wanted to make me his homemade chicken salad. So I was like, okay, okay. So he made it was cool. It was with grapes and like a really cool thing. And I just like my brother. I love him. He's a civilian. I love him that he's a good guy, good person, very clear head. But he watches TV and movies with his wife. Good for him. He has to put me in check a little bit, like maybe because it's always football season and basketball. I'm running around. There's no time for love stories or fictional. Like my brother's never seen like Reservoir Dogs or like Pulp Fiction. I was like, what?
Come
He's never seen.
on.
No, no, no. He never seen a Tarantino movie like Bohemian Rhapsody. We were talking about. I said you got to watch it then. Yeah, like what are you watching all day? Marvel movies and like what are you watching? Disney movies? Like I really I gave it to him big time. I really did. But however, John, Randy, he's right. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. He's right. He's right to do those kind of things. John, don't BS me. I know you're watching those romance things with your wife at night, Love Island and whatever,
No,
Survivor
sir.
and stuff.
No,
No,
sir.
Housewives
No.
of Beverly Hills.
Never.
That's
Never.
not you. Okay, good.
No, we're watching
So,
Rounders for the
oh,
473rd time.
she
Yeah.
watches the good for her. Like my wife loves Sopranos and stuff, but she's not really into Rounders. But you know, also I give them the same deal when I go there. I say, listen, I need to know your electric bill for the whole month. I'm going to triple it if you let me. If I'm in charge for the 2 nights I'm there of the air conditioner, If your bill's 200, you're getting 600. I'm giving you the whole month times 3. I'm in charge of the air conditioning though when I'm there. So he's gonna kill me saying this stuff. But yeah, the Florida remains the state with the clearest head people. A lot of money down here. Let me tell you what else there is down here. A lot of people on the lam, especially where I am down in South Florida. It's real simple. Las Vegas, South Florida. That's where everyone goes when they're on the duck, when they're ducking from people. That's where you find them. Because I found a lot of them right in the casino.
Elaborate when you say clear head. What do you mean?
Clear head, no problems. Don't worry about everything. Life is great. You know, you watch Jeopardy and you watch their game shows and there's nothing wrong with that. I wish I had a little more of that in me. You know, my mind's always going a million miles an hour. I wish I slowed down a little bit. You know, there's nothing wrong with 9 to 5 and knowing you're off and relax. But you know, that's a lot of responsibilities too. My brother gets up 2 a.m. for work. You know, that's tough to do. You know, but he's home by like 2. You know, or 1 o'clock. He's home. His wife works hard. They work real hard. They're good people. And just in general, Florida's. Listen, it's March. It's March. I'm dying. I have like a towel, like, you know, I'm like, it's so humid here. I can't take humidity. It's March. What happens in July? I mean, it's just, I can't take humidity. I can't take bugs. I just don't like
right there with you.
Not being a wuss. I just, you know, I'm sounding a little bit like one, but
have you seen iguanas?
Florida's nice too. How about what?
Have you seen iguanas all over the place?
No, I think I did see a couple little lizards. Yeah, there's a couple little like.
Oh no, I mean big green dinosaurs.
No, I have seen them, but I have seen them before. But John, I'll be honest. In Vegas, I seen one of those things with like a shell back recently. So you know that was a lizard though, a big lizard. But yeah, no, and listen, this is a very nice state to have a house in the winter. Like when you're up, you know, in the winter in Jersey or winters in Colorado, have a place down here or a condo. You come down, you know, 3-4 months. That's called the snowbirds, I guess. I'm thinking the locals must hate that, the snowbirds, because it makes the traffic go crazy situation. One of the most dangerous roads in America is this 95 South, by the way. Oh my God. That's that 95 South going towards Miami up from like, you know, anywhere, Delray Beach up that way, which I like Delray Beach, but Delray Beach and that area, Boca, is a lot different than, let's say, Fort Lauderdale. It's a little bit too crazier here. Nice restaurants up there. I went to New York. I think it was a New York Prime. At the New York Prime last time I was here. Very good restaurant. They have a couple locations of them around the country. But yeah, good place. And, you know, they're bust out joints too. I'm so used to getting busted out in Vegas. It was nice hanging out with my brother a couple days, going to a couple of little local joints maybe, and just, you know, him trying to say, you know, we all like to be chefs. I would love to learn to make good things like that. Who has the time? I don't have the time for it, but I should slow down like that. God bless him. Salute, Steve. I'll just tell you, salute.
I can relate. I have 2 older brothers that are both retired that do a lot of the same things. So one's in Oregon, one's in Arizona in the winter, and North Dakota in the summer. So
so you get it. You get it a little bit. Yeah, they're good people, good hardworking people. Not that I don't work hard, but I probably don't take the time to smell the roses enough. I used to always travel, but I really don't travel now as much toward football and basketball, because Atlantic City, I used to go back and forth to the East Coast. And even down here they were good. They took some bets from me here, but down, you know, Atlantic City they just don't take bets. They just don't take bets for anybody that wins. The counters are really, really tough on guys like me. The Hard Rock down here, they told me was tough, but I found some season wins on baseball. I bet teams to make the playoffs and not make the playoffs. And I bet under on Florida State. I bet under Florida State. But then again, you have to listen. I'm betting under Florida State 7.5 wins here. And you're tying up your money for 10 months. I understand it's not for everyone. So it's tough to do. But they did take a very large bet. I gave them a bigger bet than I thought I was going to want. And they gave me the bet, you know. So I was pretty surprised at that. They're pretty good to me down here. But I was betting off some old tickets too. Some old season win tickets that I had from last year that was like I said, set to expire. Also,
I've seen some monster bets from Florida. I've seen people bet $1 million like no problem.
It's unbelievable. I put $5,000. I'll tell you right now. I put $5,000 bets in. It went right through. Like,
Yeah.
wow, I couldn't. Yeah, on futures, I was like, wow, I didn't even really want five. I did want five on the baseball ones, but I didn't want probably didn't want five on Florida State only because I could find some 7.5s in other spots. I was going to spread it around, but that's okay. Let me tell you something they have here. They have these guys that are dressed so well, these hustlers. They're dressed really nice, and they come up, and I don't know. They're from like maybe I don't know where they're from. Somewhere like maybe Middle Eastern or something. Like I don't know where they're actually from. They have a little bit of an accent. It happened twice in 2 days. Two different guys at nighttime trying to sell me a gold chain, and looking around like, "Hey, buddy, I got this gold chain. Listen, I want to get in a poker tournament. It starts at 8 o'clock, and I just messed up here and see this gold chain. It's worth like 5,000." He goes, "If you give me 500, it's fair. Go ahead, because I'm an idiot. I wanted to get in this tournament." That's what the first guy story was. The second guy came over and put one in my hand. Like I was like, he actually dropped it around my arm. I was like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "Yeah, I got this chain, man." He goes, I got to get out of here though. This chain's literally like worth like $2,000. He goes, "Just give me $200." They want 10% of what the scam is. So I told this guy, "Buddy, I realized outside of here, there's pawn shops everywhere. It's like Vegas. There's pawn shops all over. By the way, not the best place outside of here. They have, literally, I said it last year when I was here, probably the most dangerous Wawa in America is out. Well, not in America, because there's some rough ones up north, but it was a pretty bad one out here outside Fort Lauderdale and Tampa. Those Wawas aren't that good at nighttime. I'll just tell you that. But there's pawn shops everywhere. There was a guy, one of the most aggressive hustlers, not hustlers, beggars I ever seen, came to the window, knocking on the window.
I hate
knocking on my window, like banging on them pretty hard. Big guy too.
Yeah.
But So anyway, there are some.
I have a solution for that here in Vegas.
The element. Yeah. No. I can't carry a gun here.
Yeah.
But anyway, no. It just I got to tell you though, I was listening to somebody else tell me about Vegas here. He was saying why he didn't go. He volunteered. I'm a little bit down a lot on Vegas. He said, I have casinos here in Florida. My wife and I go. We don't have to go to Vegas anymore. And the last time I went, I didn't like what happened. They wouldn't comp me any food, which usually food, that was something that if you play, this guy was playing too. He's playing a video poker machine. He's playing $10 a hand. He said something good. He was talking about how they always comped him, and his host retired. He was going to get a new casino host, but he was just frustrated by a couple things. And he said something, even though he was a little bit older than me. He said all these young kids now, they don't realize that how it used to be. And I said, you're right. I talk about this kind of stuff. The kids do not realize what it used to be in Vegas. The kids are coming in literally by the truckload in Vegas compared to the old days. And the older people are staying away. The corporations have realized they can give less to people and still get volume because their customer base doesn't realize that. Basically, Vegas has conditioned these new kids that are new to gambling to pay for things and still come to Vegas and even gamble. Listen, I get it. I'm a creature of habit. I don't like change. There's a lot more to do in Vegas too now than the Vegas of years ago. Those residencies that they have now, they never had. They had Elvis. Elvis was like the only residency. Now you have residencies by Kelly Clarkson. My wife said, "Oh, can we go see Kelly Clarkson?" Motley Crue, Janis Jackson, U2 was there. The Sphere, who else? The Eagles. Like, there's a lot more entertainment-wise. I'll tell you something else there is. There's restaurants, tons of restaurants to go to now, like big-name chefs. That was never what it was like years ago. Now, people come to Vegas, believe it or not, because they want to go to a Wolfgang Puck restaurant, a certain restaurant, or go to, who's the chef that screams and yells all the time? Wolfgang.
Gordon Ramsay.
Wolfgang, Gordon Ramsay. Bobby Flay. They want to go to these type of restaurants. So I get it. It's a different Vegas. And, it just, again, I know I'm not used to change. And listen, if that's what you're going to do, if you're going to go to a town like Orlando with your family or LA or New York or something. That's the way Vegas is getting to be. It's a town that you're going to go and you're going to pay. You're not going to be getting comps. You're not looking for comps. You're looking to pay. And that's exactly what they want you to think. But there's still guys
Downtown's
like
still the
me,
old
John,
way,
and
though.
Randy. Yeah, there's us three guys still are under the old school. Go ahead, Randy. What were you saying?
Yeah, downtown Vegas is still the old way where they, you can get pretty much everything comp downtown if you're, they're still looking for, people that play in the casino. So my recommendation to most people is, and I like downtown better than staying on the strip anyway, is go visit the strip, but stay downtown.
Great advice. Great advice from Randy. So downtown, let me ask you something, Randy. So someone goes to let's use a nice property, Golden Nugget or Circa. You think you can establish yourself with a host and give your card, and you can get some personal attention to detail there, and maybe get taken care of more than, let's say, you were on the strip at one of the big properties on the strip, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
For a lot less coin in than you would at a strip property, you could get the things you wanted there.
Where do you find good video poker downtown, Randy? Decent.
So decent video poker.
Yeah,
Let's
decent.
say 8-5 bonus poker or better.
That's good.
Is just about in every casino down there.
That's good. That's 99.2. But that's good.
There's better games sometimes even at the smaller places like, Four Queens.
Four Queens.
Mention them. They have 100, and the Plaza also has very good poker.
Wow, good. So they offer more. Do you find being out of town probably you get the better offer than locals, or you think it's downtown's pretty good for both?
I think downtown's pretty good for both, but usually in Vegas, unless you're playing at a local place, having an out-of-state address works better for the comp system.
Okay, John, where are you going to, John? You're still going to like Durango and stuff. Where do you go? Where do you and the wife go locally? You and your girl?
Locally, Durango, and on the strip, Encore or Palazzo.
Okay, good. Encore Palazzo is really nice. You're talking the Wynn. I think the Wynn in Palazzo is
Me
like
too.
two of the nicest places. Well, I'm actually in the dark a little bit here too. I should open the blind here also. But anyway, the sports betting influencers, I just think it's out of control. I've watched some things recently. Some of these influencers are just so bad. I mean, there's just so much bad advice out there. Bad, just people don't even gamble, and they're giving advice on gambling. And these gambling channels that play, they are gambling though. The gambling channels. I like one that's transparent. Like I like Vegas Matt. We're gonna see if we get him on the show. I love
Vegas Matt.
Yeah, Vegas Matt's very transparent. He had other interviews where he talked about losing. I like that. I like him talking about, hey, it's fun. He's playing really high. It's fun to watch someone play really high. And he talks about he loses hundreds of thousands of dollars a year playing slots. And he talks about it like that, unlike a lot of the other influence channels. Do you ever watch them, Randy, John? Do you guys watch those channels? I'm going to open up some blinds here.
I watch Vegas Matt. I really like Vegas Matt for all the reasons you just said. He's transparent. He's real. And he's a really nice guy. I had him on Action Junkies a couple years ago, and but it was kind of before he was just percolating. He hadn't really blown up to the level that he has now. But he's a nice guy.
He's got like 1 million followers now.
Yeah.
Randy, any experience with any of these? Do you ever watch any of these shows?
Occasionally I'll watch them just to see the games they're playing, see if I can figure out something my own. Maybe it's a slot machine or something I haven't seen before to see if there's maybe any kind of edge in the game they're playing. I know they're not playing at an edge usually, so
I mean, maybe you jump on a machine if it is an edge. Yeah, if it is an edge though, but maybe he would jump on him. And I don't blame him. He's a losing player, especially. I heard some like rumors saying, "Oh my God, Vegas Matt's playing advantage machines." Come on, the guy admits losing so much money, hundreds and hundreds, like 350,000 last year, something like that. I mean, big deal. So if he jumps on a Buffalo or a Diamond, one of the games that because it has more bonuses than another one. I mean, I just don't see the big deal in that. Let's give a shout out to our sponsor, heritagesports.eu. Heritage Sports, they have their 100%. I made sure before I came on air, 100% free play sign up bonuses, reduced juice, cash back, many other perks. Been in business for 30 years. That 108 juice, they have a 50% free play reload bonus. That's just on reloads. That's you're an existing player. Of course, they have these office pools, these free contests for golf, which I love golf. So I love these type of, and also they have a free March Madness one. So you could just get on there and just sign up for the free March Madness contest. That's pretty cool too. Great bonus structure right now, though. Like I said, the 100%. Heritage Sports, been in business a long time. So, guys, let me ask you guys a couple other things. I have to. This is going to surprise Randy. Life of an advantage player. Randy, I got to ask you. You're going to be probably surprised, even the viewers at home, and we appreciate you guys. Great comments, great responses. I look at that like once a month. I go back and answer anyone's questions. So you'll be surprised what I'm going to tell you here. I probably wouldn't recommend like sports betting and advantage gambling. I probably wouldn't recommend that for anyone that's new, like a 20-year-old kid, 21-year-old kid. I shouldn't say 20. You have to be 21 in most jurisdictions. Hey, Crack, I want to do what you do. I want to get into advantage gambling. I probably wouldn't recommend. It's not as glorious as it may seem. You'd be surprised how many skill sets you have to have, especially in a town like Vegas. Drinking, drugs, woman, and over betting. Even if you think you're betting, like I always say, you can learn 90% of what I know in a 3-4 hour session on the computer for free. You're just doing a search, but you have to be able to apply all of these techniques, and you have to be able to walk away a loser or have a losing session. Discipline. That's the hardest thing for people to do in any type of betting, is to have more money available yet walk away a loser. In other words, if it's a true count, if it's a good count and you're good, now the count goes down, but you're stuck, $400 betting, $50 or $100, you're going to be pissed off and you want to just get even, and you're going to bet when you shouldn't for the most part. It's hard to have those internal skills. Go ahead, John.
I was just going to say to your point, you really opened my eyes. Maybe when did I start doing this with you? 4 years ago or whatever it was. Yeah. And when you said, typically like 1 to 3% of your bankroll is what your bet should be, like that. I don't think anyone does that.
No one does
it. The pros.
No one does
Only
it.
The pros. Yeah.
I want to tell you, nobody does it. You're 100% spot on, John. So that means if you have $1,000 set aside for just gambling, not going to the dinner, not picking up a loaf of bread, that's just for gambling, that means you're betting $10, $20, maybe $25 on something. Right. That's no fun. That's no fun.
And if you lose 4 bets in a row, the instinct as a gambler is, okay, well, I gotta win this one. Let me load up $100, $200. You start chasing and betting more, and then you really get in trouble.
I learned. That's good, John. That's good you said that. Good. Well, good. I'm glad they're teaching you that in Gamblers Anonymous. Okay, Randy.
I've been approached by a couple, younger guys, but they were more looking and getting into the poker scene and being poker players. And what I told them is, make sure you got a backup plan in case this doesn't work out for you. Something you can go back to, because it's a grind. It can be a pretty lonely life.
Yeah.
You're playing them. In order to be a good poker player, like John probably knows, you got to play the late night sessions. You can't play with the rocks during the daytime.
Right.
You got to play you got to play from 8 p.m. to like 4 a.m. or wherever the game gets bad or whatever. Be able to walk away from it. These guys want to play tournaments too, where we all know that tournaments in poker, the rake structure is just awful. Just you're losing so much off the top just getting into the tournament. It's almost like buying a car, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Some of the
Randy,
tournaments.
I love that you just brought up poker, because I had a clip prepared that producer Rob was going to show, but the link got deleted or something. So the clip isn't available, but I don't know if you guys saw, Phil Ivey was just interviewed a couple days ago, and they asked him who are some of the most feared players in his eyes. Like when he shows up at a table and he sees, give us 3 names that, you're like, oh man, I hate playing this guy. This guy's tough. And Phil said, well, I don't want to mention their names. And clearly he was thinking of me as one of those players. And
For sure.
it was really great. It felt good to be validated like that by the GOAT,
We got to have him on here. I was supposed to have him on here. It's my fault. We'll have Phil on. He's an advantage gambler, and he's done some things in the past in sports that have been fantastic. And he's been also things that he did in the casino, which you get 2 different sides of this. I am all for the gambler. I just am. I know I'm skewed for the gambler, and these casinos are so greedy. They so much want your money and treat everyone like an idiot and think everyone's so stupid that they let him negotiate a game where they pulled the cards out of the deck, and that they wanted his money that bad because he did gamble that kind of level. And he negotiated the game, he won. And people said, oh, he cheated. No, the casino's right. Listen, he negotiated the game. They agreed to the game. He didn't touch the cards. He didn't mark the cards. He didn't do anything. So I've had some conversations that people.
I know that story personally because I know.
No, you do. I didn't want to get into it, but if you want to,
involved,
you want to say what you could say what you said. People know it now.
Yeah, the female is used to be my good friend's ex girlfriend, so I know her pretty well, and yeah, she learned how to study the backs of cards, and
correct.
That's what became of it. So I know that story real well, and could tell some things about that one.
Edge sorting, it's called, correct, Randy?
Edge sorting.
Yeah,
That's the name they dictated for, and they had, probably. What was the edge on that totally was, in between 5 and 7%, I believe. So they're still taking some pretty good risks, especially the amounts they're betting could have, huge fluctuation. But when the casino got warm to it, they didn't want to pay him, of course.
Yes, they didn't pay him. Not didn't want to pay him. They didn't pay him.
Yeah, a couple of them didn't.
The one over in England. Anyway, talking about poker though, I love when you hear we're taking our poker room out. This space can make more money for slots. Let me tell you, I know someone down here. That plays in the poker room. He's the example I'm going to give why these casino people, if they don't gamble and make decisions for the floor, shame on their bosses. Shame on the people that are up top because the money that it makes, secondary money, maybe you bring your wife or your girlfriend in, she goes out and plays the slots while you're playing poker. How about this? The most important thing, like my buddy over here, he goes and plays poker. He loses a terrible pot. He loses another one. He has 2 bad beats. He cashes his money. Where does he go? Right to the casino. So sure enough, this guy that loses $800, I see him in the casino playing high limit slots, just firing. And after playing poker, and he was honest with me. He's like, I brought like 2,800 here. I'm lost $850 playing poker. I'm down to my last 200 here. He fired all his money away at something he didn't plan to do. But how many times does he do it? And how many times does other people do it? If it wasn't for the slot, if it wasn't for video poker, they wouldn't be playing the slots. So next time one of these geniuses upstairs gets an idea in their mind saying, yeah, we should get rid of poker. We can make more with slot machines in that space. You don't even realize how much money you make because of the poker room. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, totally. And Bill, you'd be surprised during a tournament on the break, on the 10 to 15-minute break, how many people go straight to slots, blackjack, roulette from the poker room. I watched them do it. I swear to you, I watched them do it. I watched them do it at Encore. When I play like the Encore daily tournament, when there's a break, I watch them go to slots. They go to blackjack. I watch them do it.
Well, that means they're pure gamblers. They're still in the tournament.
Correct.
That means that after the tournament's over, they're going to gamble. They just gamble. So
100%.
They came in for that tournament, $1,000 tournament, no, $100 rake. And people say, well, it's only 100. It's all this time. We have to pay 4 people's space. And
Yeah.
It's not, because you're bringing gamblers in the casino. I mean, hearing that, holy moly! I mean,
Yeah.
that's
I see
crazy.
it all the time.
Yeah,
Randy,
the
same
last
thing.
casino I used to work at in 96, 97, we had a, very nice poker room. A lot of gamblers would come, these tournaments, probably get 100 players or so. And of course, they had all the, it was in North Dakota, South Dakota area there. And they would, they'd bring the wives and they'd play on their breaks as well. So yeah, it all correlates together. And a lot of these, like these higher ups in these big casinos don't realize what poker can bring in, because if they don't have poker, these guys aren't coming into their casino.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna have a new segment here on the show where we talk about these people that bet things and big parlays, and then when the sports book offers a cash out, you guys know I hate cash out prices. So our new sponsor, WagerWire, a secondary marketplace for these type of bets, and they're basically similar to like a StubHub, but instead of game tickets, you can buy and sell active sports bets each week. And we're going to look at a ticket. I want to see if you guys can pull up the same exact one. Robert's going to show it in the background. And this particular one that I wanted to talk about, well, I'll tell you, Randy, this is going to be new news to you too. I didn't tell you about this, warn you about this. So this is WagerWire, and it's at WagerWire on Twitter. It was a $324,000, 323.9 sold. It's 50% of this massive Cade Cunningham bet has been sold for $40,000. And the thing that didn't cash was if Cade Cunningham, NBA Most Improved Player at 29-1 there, you could see it pays $324,000. So Travis Hunter come in, Jaden Daniels came in. So now you need the longest shot, the 29-1 shot to come in. And now me personally, I want to say I don't ever like to sell anything. They are offering you a lot more here. Obviously, the guy bought it for the 40,000. But maybe like a guy like Randy and I, you can work out the math to what you think Cade Cunningham, what's his true odds to win it, and the most improved player of this year, and maybe come up with another number where Randy, maybe we would buy it. Do you think that would ever happen? Something like that?
Yeah, I could definitely see being on the buyer side here, looking into buying some of these, and I'm sure they're looking for buyers too. WagerWire, that's a whole part of the whole game, is have the guys put out the parlays and have people give the good offers for them to buy them. Good deal for everyone. Could be a good little bit advantage if you feel like Cunningham has a good shot. Of course, I don't like voter awards as much as other ones, but yeah, that's a tough one.
Now, let's go to Mr. Orlando. Everyone's waiting for this one. John, what would you do here with this?
Let me understand this.
40,000?
40K for, you're selling 50% of the ticket for 40K?
Listen, and that's why $100. When I see the $100, I got to tell you, when I see the $100, I got to say, man, it's just $100. So if you're $100 better, yeah, I'm going to take a portion. Yes, it's just 50%. So I'm going to take a portion and cash out some. Even me, who I'm tough on that. I'm tough on taking any kind of buyouts, but you're $100 better. So if you're $100 better, you're 400 extra money here. I'm going to probably advise you take something. I don't know the exact dollar amount, but you still have 50% of it. You're probably going to agree with the same thing, John. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy to sit here and go, no way, don't do it, go for it. I think it's easy to say that when it's not you and it's not really on the table for you.
Very
right?
good.
But when it's really on the table for you, you kind of got to take the money, right? I mean, you got to take the money.
It just sounds like so much money for $100.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys this. Should where you're at in life dictate your answer? Meaning, if you're good, like for you guys, is this just math, or are you gonna factor in someone's personal situation, right? Like, $40,000.
It's a great point, John. And I think for Randy and I think it would be a lot more math, but there is maybe some common sense to make a little score also, Randy.
Right.
What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think,
This particular one.
Yeah, this particular one, yeah, you got to look into, like John said, your financial situation where, we would look into the math part of it. Somebody that really needs it, this 40K is a pretty strong deal. So, there's a lot of variables. You got to see where you're at. I think Cunningham's having a pretty good year. I don't follow the NBA as much, but I know the Pistons are doing well, and he's doing pretty well with them. So that bet has a good chance of cashing.
And
Let me be honest, guys.
Yeah.
If it's me right now today, I'll take 20.
Here ends the end of the lesson.
We love honesty. There you go.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. So let's end here on March Madness. One, I can't stand the way Vegas is now on March Madness. You have to buy seats, and I can't just when I before I lived in Vegas, I used to go to the pool, drop my towel there, drop something there. They know I got a spot at the pool, then run into the sports book, set my stuff up at the sports book. I got my spot there for the day. There's no more doing that. There's no more spots in sports books. That you have to buy a seat now. For all places, maybe not the South Point or some local places, no, but for the most part, you have to buy a seat. I know Caesars puts bleachers up behind the bar, behind the sports book. You might need binoculars, but and you sit on a nice, metal bench for 10 hours for $100. It's ridiculous, but I like the old Vegas. I'm a creature of habit. I'm a dinosaur, so I like the old style of Vegas. I like to get drink tickets. Some of the casinos still do drink tickets. You have to bet, but a lot of them more and more are cutting back drink tickets. I like the old way. John, where have you been for March Madness? Where do you go? Do you mess around with that Thursday? Do you go into a casino and watch the games?
I usually don't because I hate basketball, as we've discussed in previous years. However, the guys at Durango Sportsbook are so good to me. They have a nice little table for me, and they talked me into, I have friends that like watching it, so I committed to I will watch the games this time and maybe try to get into it. And let me ask you guys this. Brill, my buddy Roger from Detroit and his son Roger. Roger and Roger, they host Roger That Live podcast.
Yep.
So little Roger goes to Michigan State. He's very bullish on Michigan State, has a legit shot to win this thing. I think they're 22-1. Do you agree with this, Randy?
But Randy gave that out 2 weeks ago at 40-1. Yeah, 35-1, right? Yeah. Randy?
I have a 38-1 there.
38-1, yeah. So, yeah.
So should I be on this train? I really should be on this train and make the games interesting?
Too late.
No.
It's too late. They won the next day. They're like 20-1 now. No.
Still $50?
Listen, if you want to bet a sawbuck or something to join in, root for your son's friend, I don't blame you. Have a good time with it. Enjoy it. And maybe
getting
shop
back
around.
to your pool situation, I don't know if you've ever been to Stadium Swim, but Derek's got everything. Derek's got everything all covered right there for you. Get a cabana. You can watch the games. They even got betting kiosks down there. I mean, he's got everything.
Stadium Swim's amazing.
Food, whatever you want.
But that costs $1,000 or something, though. What do you mean? Got everything covered for you?
No, trust me, he'll get it covered for us if we ever decided to do it. I'm
in. I'm in.
Covered.
All right, let's see. But I mean, it's an experience. Stadium Swim is an unbelievable experience. Betting kiosks, the pools and jacuzzis there. Oh, it's some experience. And
anybody listening, if you get bored, the game's going bad, you can just go check out the girls in the pool. I mean, you got that.
I get it.
Too.
I get it. Hey, Randy, go ahead. Yeah,
I was just going to say, can I talk either of you into watching opening day of Major League Baseball, Dodgers versus Cubs in Japan at 3:00 in the morning?
How cool.
Our time. Who's joining me in a sports book 3 a.m.? Anyone?
Yeah, there'll be people there. You know what? That could be a good video. That's cool. 3 a.m.
I'm in.
I love that. That's fun. I love baseball. You guys know I love baseball.
I'm so pumped.
Yeah. No, I actually look for. I know people say it's boring and stuff. I look forward to a baseball game. Nothing like going to a baseball game. I wish I could do it more often. My brother went to a couple spring training games over by him. Wow, so how cool that is to, Tampa's the Yankees, Boston Red Sox, Phillies, It's so cool. Like the Twins were over there. Really cool. Nothing like
Yeah.
that. It's so cool. You can sit up close for little or no money. And then baseball season's great. Absolutely love that. Randy, you wanted to talk about some of the taxes, what the casinos make in sports betting revenue tax. We know New York's the sports betting leader in the country, outdueling. No, it's 3-1. They're like 3-1 volume, 4-1 volume over Nevada. Is that what you wanted to talk about? Like their 51% tax rate?
Well, mine was the one I wanted to kind of talk about was what you and Gil were talking about on the numbers game.
Oh,
The states that tax on your jackpot over 1,200, they take the
oh,
money
okay.
out.
I thought you meant the sports, how much money they're making in sports betting, like the sports betting
We could
capital
talk
is
about that
New York.
next week if we don't have
Yeah,
enough time now.
sure. What do you? Oh, now you're talking. Oh, you're talking about something I was pissed about.
Yeah,
I was in Louisiana. I was in Baton
Louisiana,
Rouge.
Mississippi, any of
Oh
those.
man, I hit 1250. They take the tax out. I was like, well, no, I'll do my own tax. No, we take the tax out. Like I was so
4%.
mad. What percent?
4% state tax.
That cuts right into your advantage because you really can't get the money back, Randy, or do you have to file with the state? It's a
It's
pain, though,
very
right?
difficult process to get that money back. Mississippi takes out 5%, which is almost impossible to get back. And there's a few others. Iowa, I think Ohio, I believe. The viewers can chime in if they're hearing this,
Why
next
would you
week.
ever want to gamble
Illinois
there?
is another one. Well, it
They
depends
don't
on
give you.
what your edge is. If your edge is bigger, then you can get you can sustain that. But
What's bigger than
yeah,
a 5%? Oh, no, it doesn't work that way. I understand, but yeah, a long term it could be different. I understand, but I just got so mad that I never got the money back from my jackpots I hit in Louisiana playing video poker. I said that's enough of this. I won't do it anymore. But yet you do play there when you're there. You will play but you don't file. You have to file in that state to get the money back or something like that. How does it work, Brandy?
well, you can file to get the. I'm not a legal
CPA.
guy about that, but you can file a state tax to get that back. I know a guy that did. Luckily, when I was playing in Louisiana, I was playing the blackjack machine, so I wasn't getting any. I was playing
Right.
big. I wasn't getting any taxables on the blackjack machine, so that worked out well for me. I did get one straight flush on a video poker machine, for 1250, and they, got back 1195 or whatever they took out. So, I lost a
That's,
little bit there, but I didn't. If it's small enough, just don't even bother filing it. But if you got a lot
Randy,
of
do you play down here? Do you play in Florida at all? Do you play at the Hard Rocks or Seminole at all? Have you ever played in them or not really?
I need to check them out. I haven't been to Florida since early 2000s, so maybe that's a
Wow.
state that I should put in
Wow.
my
Okay.
travel list, especially with all these new hard rocks.
Yeah, there's Hard Rocks all over the state now. I mean, there's the new one in Orlando, I heard, or outside of Orlando. And they have little tiny casinos all around. Sometimes you can get a bonus or two. They have a lot of poker here too. And I was told they have like high hands. I have a friend that tells me he plays during the high hands during the week when there's less people in the room, but they're still giving out that high hand jackpot.
Hmm.
That's something interesting over here. And listen, and I'm not down in Florida, by the way. I was saying that hot and humid in here. I love Florida. Maybe I'm just upset. My buddy Howie Schwab died about a year ago, and
Yeah,
I
that
used to
was
come
sad.
stump to Schwab. I used to come down here and stay with him all the time. He lived right over top Gulfstream Racetrack in an unbelievable high rise. Just a beautiful place and a beautiful person. And ESPN let him go after 24 years. I always go after them because Disney has all their little um, programs they go by, and if anyone has a gray hair, he's gone. And anyway, and whatever else they do, they have some policies and procedures, boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, my buddy Howie worked for them, gave them a lot of years. Great guy. He loved South Florida. I always was with him. I miss him a lot, so maybe that's why. But there's so many things here. Joe's. I'm flying out. I'm getting ready to fly out tonight, unfortunately. But I always go to Joe's on Washington, um, and I really enjoy doing that. The original Joe's Stone Crab. That's down in South Beach, which I really don't really not a South Beach guy, but I'd like to go see where like Scarface was made. There used to be a deli there. My buddy says there was a deli, an old fashioned Jewish deli that was great. He said right across from what's that big hotel there that everyone goes to? that it's like shaped like a unicorn, shaped like a U. I can't think of John. Come on, you know all the fancy hotels in South Florida.
I'm trying to think. The
Elvis used to go there. Sinatra's been there.
famous one.
Miami Beach.
Come on, I can.
I'll
do
get it.
I
I'll
can
get it. I'll get it. I'll get it.
I want to get it
now.
before you. I want to get it before you.
I took a cruise out of there and we had to wait there and I still can't even remember the name
The
of it.
Fountain Blue. How can we not know?
Oh,
Fountain
that
Blue,
was what I
same
was
as the
thinking of.
Vegas.
Fountain Blue,
Yeah.
of course. There's one in Vegas. That's the original one there. Wolfie's was the original deli across the street, like across from that place. It's supposed to be fantastic back in the day. I love driving over there. It's nice. It's really cool, but it's just a little bit too I'm not fancy like that. That's John's kind of place with his sunglasses and his t-shirt off, driving in a convertible. It's just not what I do. Change of life, people, and midlife crisis. That's what it's called. But listen, we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun on the show, just fooling around, trying to have some fun. We appreciate all you guys. We have a nice show set up for you for March Madness next week too. I'll be back in Vegas, and appreciate John and Randy. We'll see you next week on Wise Kracks.